James, Doug, Dave, and Cody, but who here has been in Cumberland? I'm sure everybody, right? Yeah. Do you guys remember the Chinese place that went out beside, I call it the Try and Save, but it's called Save-A-Lot? Yeah. Well, here's a funny story, depending on which side of the sneeze guard you were on. And this happened. So I'm at my house, and I got home, my wife bought a 2-pound jug of cottage cheese, and if you know me, you know I love cottage cheese. It's like my favorite thing ever. And it's kind of like butterscotch pudding or yoo-hoo. If I open a container of cottage cheese, I'm not going anywhere until I'm done eating it. Like, it's gonna be gone. I'm gonna house it. For real. 100% true. So anyway, I get in there and I find it, and my buddies had just called and said, hey, we're going to the Chinese place tonight at 5. I look, it's only 2 o'clock. I'm like, I can eat 2 pounds of cottage cheese and still be good at 5 o'clock to go to the China house. Your laughter hurts me, but I'll continue. So anyway, I housed this thing of cottage cheese. It's gone in like 7 or 8 minutes. And a couple minutes later, there's the beep of a 1985 Chevette outside that indicates my buddy Dave is out there. I'm like, what are you doing here? I thought we were going at 5. He goes, we said we were going in 5, dumbass. Like, I just ate So I thought maybe my ears had been packed from meat that I had eaten before I got to that. I was like, you guys said 5. He goes, no, we said in 5. It's been 10, get your ass out here. So I go, I was like, can we at least drive around for a little bit, like, so I can let this settle? So 10 or 15 minutes later, we pull into the Chinese place. And we go in, I'm like, you know, I'm up for a challenge. This was like 8 or 9 years ago, you know. I still had almost 30 years left. So I got in there, we're going around the thing, getting the food, and I go up to get some stuff, and I don't know if it was maybe the citrus from that orange or pineapple chicken, but when I got there to get some more food on plate 3 or 4, I had this feeling like, am I going to pass out? Am I going to throw up? What's going to happen? It's going to be something very negative for everybody concerned. Like, I am the least of the problems. Like, this isn't going to hurt me near as much as everyone around me. And if you've ever been to that Chinese restaurant, you know that once you're at the center, you're just as far away from the bathroom as you are from the front door. So would these people like me to go in and destroy their bathroom, or would they like me to really screw up their business out front? So I'm trying to make this decision, and I'm looking back and forth, and I'm not really sure which one I'm going to do. I'm going to go one way or the other, I'm not really sure. And as I start to make a decision, I realize it's happening right now, right here. Like, if I throw up all over this sneeze guard, it is going to go everywhere. So in an effort to do them a favor, I put my head under the sneeze guard, grabbed the one that looked like it had been close to the emptiest. It had vegetables in it, that shit's cheap. There's no meat in there. I pick it up and I fill it with 2 pounds of cottage cheese that looked the exact same way it did 10 minutes earlier, only it had a slight French vanilla tint to it. I don't know why I'm still leaning over like this, but that's what I did. And I'm kind of, you know how it is when you get sick, like, it was violent projectile, like, ah! And I'm sitting there, I'm like, trying to catch my breath, you know? And while I do it, I feel all these tiny hands on me, like, and I look and there's like 10 Chinamen all trying to run me off. I'm sorry. I'm coming up, I'm sorry. And they're all probably like, you get out of here, you get out of here. And so I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of, you know, that feeling, still like trying to clean off, like, we're gonna throw up again. This is all bad news. I usually feel this way when I leave the Ponderosa buffet. But I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make my way out. They're like, you two, all of you go. So they're yelling at my friends to go. And I'm not gonna name any names, Mr. Z, but Mr. Z's like, we already paid for this shit. I'm going to get some Korean chicken. I watched him empty an entire container of that into a Dollar General bag. My other friends had varying degrees of being angry. One was like, you listen to me right now. I already paid you for this. I already paid for this shit. I'm going to eat it. If you guys don't like it, you can kiss my fucking ass. And they worked us all the way out the door. Again, that's the end of the story. I wish it had some big kicker, but that shit happened to me. You guys ready for the next stand-up comedian? Good. This next guy I have seen perform, he is incredibly brave, incredibly good guy, and my favorite thing about him is an open mic that we did about a week ago. These guys at the back of the bar were talking on and on and on. And I watched him while another performer was up, who had been his first time, guys up there. I watched this guy walk over to him and go, "We're gonna need you to shut the fuck up." Then he walked away, and by the time he got back to his seat, I heard that guy going, "Did you hear that? He told me to shut the fuck up." Like, yeah, why didn't you do anything about it then? But he didn't. But that guy is here right now, fresh from serving it up to that dipshit. Let's hear it for Dustin, Ducky!
Oh my God, Kaiser, West Virginia, I'm so excited right now. So excited to be in front of all of you. So genuinely excited to just be hanging out with you guys right now. In fact, so genuinely excited, I'm gonna hang out with you for a second. You see, my grandma's from this town. And I've never been here before. So this is the first time for me, but it ain't the first time I heard about this town. She used to tell me she walked up hills both ways to school. I recently saw the farmhouse she lived in. Turns out if you go 10 minutes out any way from Main Street, it's all hills. She walked up hills, and then she walked up another hills, and then she walked up someone else's hills, and then she was home. It turns out she walked up multiple hills, and then slid down other hills, because there's so many goddamn hills out here, I don't even know how to deal with it. You know, there's just one main street with no hills. The 220, it leads you in from Maryland, you're so excited, and you're just rolling in. No hills. But if you look left, there's hills. And if you look right, there's hills. So my grandma wasn't lying, and to be honest, I thought she was full of shit forever. She used to say if I rubbed rocks on my warts, they'd go away. She used to say the craziest West Virginia shit I ever heard. And I grew up in Maryland. You know, she ran away to Maryland when she was 13 with her sisters. That was like a good decision 65 years ago when she did it. I don't know, she's dead now. I can't even ask her about the shit anymore. I just remember the stories. Kaiser, I'm so excited to be here right now. Can we do something real quick? Can we give a big hand to every comic that's come up here tonight? Because they are so amazing. Come on. They're all right back behind this curtain. And they hear you doing that. Give them all that love. Because I got nothing but love for those people, man. They've risen me up on this. But I have some questions I have to ask you tonight, and that's why I came here. So I'm going to get on with it. Kaiser, how many people are eating ass out on this end of West Virginia? Because it's a really popular thing right now, eating ass. And I have to know, am I the only one not eating ass? I'm very concerned about this, but I'm not the only one. I hear some no's already. I'm not the only one not eating ass. Because I feel like there's a few rules in life. Like one is like, don't put your arm in the bear trap. Right? That seems like a really simple rule. And, two is like, don't like have non-protected sex with a stranger or a hooker. You know, and there are male hookers too, so it's equality the whole way. But don't have unprotected sex with a hooker, right? Or a stranger, obviously, because you don't know. And then there's like, don't eat poop. Like just don't, that's on the list. That's on the list. And eating ass isn't like eating poop, obviously. You know, it's like dumping the plate of poop out and then wiping it with a paper towel, and then licking the plate. But I feel as if it should still be on the list. Shouldn't it? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And don't get me wrong, the ass should be in play. It should absolutely be in play. I feel as if it should. I mean, like, I'm gonna put my tongue in the holiest of holies. And you can hold your other hole over the bullies to bullies. But like, sure, I'll reach your hand around there. Please reach your hand around mine. I'm down to play. But come on. Come on. We don't have to lick that part of each other, do we? Really? Do we? Not okay. Oh, man. So I watch a lot of internet videos. I assume that everyone does. but I do. And I recently, I think I have to use the mic stand for this one, but I recently watched this video. This is a very, right? It's like squeeze it in the hole. Oh, there it is. Everybody knows that feeling. Okay. I didn't mean to get that excited. It just happened to me the same. You all saw it happen. It was a very honest emotion. My heart's beating. My heart's a beating. Anyway, the first time, you know, I never put it in that hole before. But guys, I watch a lot of internet videos, and I was recently watching a video where this young lady was explaining different kinds of snake bites, and it was like she was very serious, and she was deadpan the whole thing. And the first time she showed a snake bite, it was like a little snake. She's like, put her hand down. It's coiling up. It's the ladder. You're like nervous. I was. And boom, boom, boom. And so this kind of snake, and she said the name of it, which you should have to watch the video because I don't remember this kind of snake, but it was just striking. Oh God, it was striking. And she said, this is the kind of snake that just is venomous. It gives bites. And then she moved on as you went down the video, and the next snake, it wrapped around and it latched on. And all I can think is this girl is talking so calm. But she was talking, oh, this one latches on. It starts wrapping around her wrist. Oh, I'm going to let it constrict me. She helps it on. I'm a little freaked out. I'm kind of turned on. And as it's squeezing her hand, all her calm talk just makes me ask over and over, what kind of sex is this girl having? It's like, whew. That's literally the end of that joke. I mean, I don't even know what to go beyond that. Like, that was a real thing that happened to me. Guys, I have an IQ of 147. Or I would if, like, your IQ was measured by the amount of times you've masturbated since January 1st. Hey, guy who clapped, we would get along. No, like, that's like 6-7 times a day. That's ridiculous. But like 3's average, right? The awkward laughter tells me maybe. But you know what? My favorite time to masturbate, and maybe guys can relate to this more than girls, I'm not sure. My favorite time to masturbate is when it's not like you're bored and you go decide to do it. It's more like when you're doing something else and no one's around and it kind of happens to you. It's like when the accidental chubby begins, you know, and like you don't have to even think about opening the incognito browser. That's my favorite time. It's like the girl at the bar you met last week, you know, or like your buddy's mom, or like your boss's wife. I mean, these aren't real examples at all. Like, not at all. And like, you know, I'm a gentleman because I masturbate about it. I don't actually do it. So that makes me better somehow. I hope. Oh God, Kaiser, I'm so excited to be with you guys right now. This has been such a fun experience since I came into town earlier today. A buddy of mine, a fellow comic you'll see later tonight, we rolled into town earlier together. And we rolled down to the hot dog stand where we had a lot of beers with a lot of awesome locals who told me jokes and told me, like, they were better comics. Like, they were amazing. They were awesome. They welcomed us, told us jokes, and loved us. And I'm going to tell you something about Kaiser right now. A lot of love here. A lot of love in this room. A lot of love in Kaiser. Can y'all just give yourself a hand? Is that okay? Yeah, I want to give you all a hand. Right now, guys, it's been an amazing time so far. How many people in Kaiser are married, though? Can I ask that question? Kaiser, how many people married? Yeah. All right, so I my first marriage lasted 6 years. I mean, I've been married 6 years, is what I meant to say. I've been married 6 years. And marriage is hard, guys. Marriage is hard. You know, after a year of marriage, a lot of people that had been married a long time, they came to me and they said, 1 year, good job. Good job. You did 1 year. And they encouraged me. First year's the hardest, they said, in fact. And then as 2 and 3 happened, you know, years 2 and 3 of marriage happened, I was a little concerned because they seemed a little more difficult, if not at least as much difficult, but maybe a little more difficult. I thought I was fucking up. But then at 5 years, these same people came back and they said things like, well, 5 years, that's a momentous occasion. 5 years, you've done it. And I realized that they were lying to me 4 years ago. And I just, you know what? At first I was angry, but now I think, what a kind gesture. They wanted to relate with me on the miseries of marriage so much that they were willing to lie to me 4 years ago. What a good friend. You know? Am I wrong? Yeah, probably. Real statistic about marriage, guys, and this is a true thing. 100% of divorces begin in a marriage. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. Just fucking think about it.
You're an idiot.
After a couple years of marriage, though, I have to tell you, my wife and I have gotten into some kinky stuff, and it's fun. You know, I tie her up sometimes. Yeah, it's neat. And a little biting. Smack that ass, whatever, you know. A little biting, smack her ass. Oh, it's fun, man. It's pain. She likes the pain. And she, like, gives me pain, like, emotionally. And she ties me up in hours of conversation I don't want to have. But she bites my fucking head off on a regular occasion.
How she smacked that ass?
If you saw it, you know why. Because look, hey, my wife's a 10. Well, I'm married at 10. She's at 8.5. We have 2 kids now, but she's a solid 8.5. You know? Solid 8.5. Guys, I was recently kicked out of my band. Yeah, I was in a blues band. And when I entered the band, they loved my deep, raspy voice, my deep tones. But you know what? I said, guys, I have to be honest. I can't pose. I can't get up here and do this if I'm not being honest. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of those blues tonight. And hopefully you guys agree with me. I hope you guys are on my side. Hopefully you can help me understand why they didn't want me to be with them anymore. But I'm going to give it to you honest, guys. I got the blues, They put mayo on my sandwich at the bar, and I don't care for mayo very much. I got the blues, I have an uncle with the blues. He was locked up with only 56 channels in his prison cell. He's got the blues. Oh, the blues. We got the blues. I got pulled over before work and I only got a warning, but my boss was slightly irritated me for being late, and then it was kind of a thing, and I kind of threw my day off. I got the blues. I recently was behind on my utility payment to the electric company, and they got kind of irritated with me, but I got kind of high while I was waiting on the phone. My wife was kind of irritated because I had to call back and I didn't get anything done that she wanted me to get done that day, and it was sort of an irritating thing, and I don't even know what I did wrong, but to be honest, it was kind of fucked up. And then I got the blues. I got those white privilege first world problem blues.